How to pick the best Pokemon card investments. Right, here's a secret for everyone. Let me get out the crystal ball. No, I'm just kidding. Anyone that sort of tells you that, right, like, oh, grab these are going to skyrocket. Here's my crystal ball. Like, I know exactly what's going to happen. I feel like sometimes there could well be a hidden agenda behind that. Like, the fact of the matter is, we don't really know. And that's the truth. We don't know what's going to skyrocket. But here's something that I want you to do, and I'll get into it in a second. And I think it's going to help for 2024. And it's something I'm going to do as well, and I have done, and I'm going to share in this video. Before we jump right into it, though, I just want to say thanks, everyone, so much for tuning into the channel. It's been ripper 6 months, probably a touch more, actually, 8 months since the channel really sort of started, I guess, or I started doing videos. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It's getting towards the end of 2023. Look forward to doing a heap more videos in 2024. Hopefully some bigger, exciting, better things to come. So please subscribe, and thanks for tuning in. Right, well, this is what I want you to do, right? So I want you to reflect on 2023. And how do we go about buying a product, be it a card or a sealed Pokemon product, and grabbing it just before it skyrockets to the moon or just before it goes up in value? It's almost like the share market. Like, how do we buy into a company or collect shares or invest in shares just before it boosts, just before it booms? And the fact of the matter is, Pokemon investments are very similar to shares in that we don't really know. But just like the share market, you can look at fundamentals. You can look at the direction of the leadership. You can look at the fundamentals of the company. You can look at the financials, so to speak, and how they're performing and what the predictions are. And, you can make estimated guesses, for lack of a better word. And the same thing can happen in the Pokemon world. So here's what I want you to do, and I'm going to explain to you how I did it. So let's reflect on 2023, and here's the strategy. Don't just spray and pray when it comes to products. Don't just buy everything. Like, I buy everything, but just one for the collection. But when I really focus on something and actually put serious money into it, and when I say serious money, like, it's probably I always say 5% of net worth. Like, it's not the be all and end all. Don't put your mortgage on it. Don't risk it all on Pokemon. Buy serious money for me. Serious money to me could mean thousands into a product. Serious money for someone else could mean tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. Serious money for someone else could mean hundreds or tens. So serious is different to everyone, depending on which stage you're at. And my next video that I've got planned, we'll talk about that. But anyway, this is what I want you to do. I want you to reflect on 2023 and think about your 3 top performing sets, right? Now, I've chosen mine, and they're pretty simple. Here's number 3 on the list. And number 3 on the list for me was Evolving Skies, which you'd think would be like number 1, because Evolving Skies has had an incredible year. It's bucked the trend. Everything else has stayed pretty stable from Sword and Shield era, but Evolving Skies has gone boom. If we do the maths, right, 12 months ago at the start of this year, it was $279 US, and it's currently sitting at $419 US. It's been higher than that. It's been up in the close to 440, but it's at 419 currently, all right? So from the start of the year to now, it's a 33.5% increase in value. So that's my 3rd best performing booster box of 2023. Now, my 2nd best, of course, performed better than Evolving Skies, and that was Cosmic Eclipse. Okay, this started the year at $545 Australian US dollars, and it's currently sitting at $866 US dollars. So if you do the sums, it's had a 37% increase. So it has performed better in 2023 than Evolving Skies has. Now, of course, it's had a higher entry point price at $545 compared to $279. You could have bought 2 Evolving Skies booster boxes for the cost of 1 Cosmic Eclipse box. So keep that in the back of your mind as well. Like, of course, it has a higher entry point price. But the number 1 performing set for me for 2023, and I hate to say I called it, but I did. If you go back about 6 months ago, maybe even 7 months ago, I did a video on this set saying this thing is going to continue to climb and climb rapidly, and I think it's going to be one of the best performing sets of 2023. So, hey, maybe I do have a crystal ball. Maybe I can tell the future. But that, for me, was Unified Minds. And what a set. I just thought it was so undervalued and so underrated in so many ways, and it deserves all the gains it's got this year. So for me, it went from $389 at the start of 2023, and it's currently sitting at 666. So it's just under a 42% increase in value for the year. So that set has performed incredibly well. And if we look at a few things, right? And this is what I want you to focus on your top three sets. So now that we've chosen those top three sets, ask yourself, what did they have in common for 2023? Or even, what do they have in common as a set? Because I'm not saying past is going to predict future, but there's got to be some trends, doesn't there? And I think there is some trends. So let's look at a few things that these three sets have in common. The first one for me is they have big hits. They have big chase cards. Okay, Evolving Skies, of course, you've got two massive hitters in the set, in the Umbreon VMAX and the Rayquaza VMAX. In Cosmic Eclipse, you've got, what is the number one selling card? Is it Rosa? I'm pretty sure it's Rosa. And then you've got that beautiful alt art Arceus Dialga Palkia card. When we go to Unified Minds, you've got that Rainbow Mewtwo and Mew. And it's Misty's Favor, is it? Yeah, Misty's Favor is the number one hit from Unified Minds. So what I'm getting at is you've got big chase cards that even raw copies are worth hundreds of dollars or north of $100 as your top chase cards. So, okay, that's one thing they've all got in common. Now let's look at a second thing they've all got in common. Not only do they have big, heavy hitting chase cards, they've got a lot of depth of chase cards. So when you're talking cards right above $5 US raw or above $50 US graded as a 9 or a 10, and you start thinking how many cards in this set sit above that, and it starts rolling out. Particularly a set like Unified Minds and Cosmic Eclipse, you've got a lot of cards, Cosmic in particular, you've got a lot of cards above $5 US. Evo Skies, the depth of hits. Yes, the pull rates are hard, but the depth of hits, they just sort of go on and on and on, don't they? All the evolutions in alternate arts, nearly, not all of them, but you get what I mean. A lot of evolutions in alternate arts. So not only do you have big hits, you've got huge depth of hits. Third main thing that I noticed those three have in common is that they are all out of competitive play. They're all out of rotation. So the chances of them being reprinted is just so small. And none of them did get reprinted in 2023. So as a result, no reprints means fewer supply. The more that gets open, the less sealed supply that's on the market. And therefore, coupled with huge hits and depth of chase cards, prices start moving north. And the fourth thing that I noticed was, all three of these sets were super popular sets new, right? I say third thing or fourth thing? Anyway, I meant fourth thing. The fourth thing I noticed about these sets is they're all super popular new. Evo Skies was an absolute banger. Like, people just couldn't buy up the product quick enough. It just went bonkers when it was released. Same thing for Cosmic Eclipse and Unified Minds. It was the tag team of Pokemon at the time, and they were super popular. The start of COVID, when Pokemon cards, of course, skyrocketed, people were still trying to chase this last Sun and Moon product, much like what's happening now with the last Sword and Shield products. People are buying them up because they knew they were good sets. Okay, Lost Origin, Silver Tempest. We know they're good sets. Astral even. We know they're good sets. So people were still buying them up at the start of sort of 2020. Buying up those 2019 sets in Cosmic and Unified Minds. So popular new is gonna mean buyers secondhand. It's what we say in the car world, and I'm certainly not bagging out any brands here, but in the car world, right, if a car brand sells in Australia, which happens, they could sell only 50 of a particular model per month, right? That means it's just so unpopular. So finding a buyer for that secondhand is just going to be a damn battle. If you have the number one selling car in the nation in Australia, which is Toyota Hilux, just still over Ford Ranger, but Toyota Hilux, there's always going to be buyers for that car secondhand because it was so popular new. People know it's a good ute. They're going to buy it secondhand. And the same thing, I think, can translate over to the Pokemon card world. If it's a popular set new, it's going to be popular secondhand. You're going to have buyers. You're going to have seal collectors wanting to put in their collection. You're going to have streamers and rippers and everything else in between wanting to buy that product, open it, showcase it, sell off packs. So popular new equals popular secondhand, in my opinion. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to pick your top 3 performers of 2023 and ask yourself, what did they have in common? And I think you'll come to some sort of similar conclusion as what I've come to. And if you have come to that conclusion, we can then translate that into some buying behavior for 2024 on how to maybe pick the best investment for 2024. Now, I know people harp on about it, but a set like Lost Origin, okay, a set like Chilling Reign, which both have pretty big chase cards, not absolute belters. Yes, the Giratina is an absolute belter, but you wouldn't say Chilling Reign has some absolute belters in it. Yeah, the Blaziken VMAX is cool, and the legendary Galarian Birds are cool. You know, it doesn't have that $500 chase card, but it's got incredible depth. Lost Origin has a fair bit of depth, perhaps less depth than Chilling Reign, but if we use those things, what was popular new, right? Lost Origin's been popular new. People are hunting that Giratina, right? Is it out of rotation yet? No. So should we buy it? There's a lot of things that come into play. I'm not telling you right now what to go buy. I'm telling you to do this exercise and use this strategy to try and translate some of those commonalities onto what you can purchase in 2024. I hope this video has been helpful. There's a couple more to go for 2023, and then we jump into 2024, don't we? I'm Michael. This is PokeOz. Catch everyone next time.